On June 11, 2026, SpaceX priced the largest initial public offering at $135 per share. The following morning, the stock opened at $150 and then closed its first trading day at $160.95, gaining more than 19% over its IPO price. 4 days later, buying pressure pushed SpaceX above $225, and the stock reached an intraday peak of $225.64. Then, the direction reversed. As of June 25th, the shares were trading at around $154.54, approximately 31% below that peak, but still about 14% above the IPO price. Do you think this sharp decline is the first opportunity to own a stake in the company building Starlink, Starship, and orbital artificial intelligence infrastructure? Or is it a fundraising trap by this giant company? You should share your thoughts and experiences with us in the comments. Do not evaluate this Elon Musk-themed investment by looking only at the chart. Over the next 10 levels, we separate what SpaceX is already building from the expectations investors are paying for because they believe they will become reality. Most buyers think this investment will make them rich. However, the hidden risk could emerge at any moment, and we explain that risk in this video. Watch carefully. Level 1. IPO Euphoria. SpaceX did not enter the public market quietly. By selling 55.56 million new shares at $135 each, it initially raised $75 billion. After the underwriters fully exercised their options, the IPO was completed on June 15th, with the sale of 638.89 million shares, generating approximately $85.7 billion in gross proceeds. Never before had a technology company's IPO directed such a large amount of new capital into a single company in one transaction. The image was powerful. A rocket manufacturer gaining a financial launchpad as striking as its engineering achievements. This scale created a simple narrative. SpaceX now had the cash to accelerate Starship, expand Starlink, build artificial intelligence infrastructure, and experiment with projects that smaller competitors could not finance. However, an IPO does two things at the same time. It provides capital to the company, and it gives the market a new price to debate every second. The $135 IPO price was not proof that SpaceX was undervalued. It was the negotiated starting point of a public auction. In fact, this IPO price was only the beginning. Thanks to global advertising and investor confidence, the company had already begun strengthening its capital. But what about the investors? Will they really profit too, or is this a capital-raising trap? Level 2. Retail investor FOMO. More than 510 million shares changed hands on the first trading day, generating approximately $84 billion in trading volume. Retail investors received about 20% of the IPO allocation, an unusually high percentage for a large-scale public offering. Screens were filled with countdowns, allocation screenshots, rocket emojis, and calculations showing how much a single share could become worth if SpaceX eventually dominated communications, launch services, and artificial intelligence. The purchases were not driven only by confidence in this enormous company and Elon Musk. Everyone believed the company would become even stronger because of the technologies it possesses and the massive investments it could make in the future. They were not entirely wrong. However, whether we want to acknowledge it or not, there is also a hidden risk. At $160.95, first-day buyers were already paying 19% more than IPO investors. At $225.64, late buyers were paying approximately 67% above the IPO price, only 4 trading days after the offering was priced. The underlying factories, satellites, contracts, and customers had not grown by 67% during those 4 days. What had grown was the amount investors were willing to pay for the same future. Then the chart turned red. Investors who thought they had bought SPCX stock cheaply and believed their profits were guaranteed saw that even an enormous company could rapidly lose value because of movements in global financial markets. Be honest, no one predicted this decline. However, it reminded us once again that investors must always act with control. Level 3. The gravity of valuation. At its IPO price, SpaceX was trading at approximately 94 times its 2025 revenue. Because the company recorded a net loss in 2025, a traditional price-to-earnings comparison could not provide a useful reference point. Investors were therefore valuing SpaceX based on future revenue, future margins, future Starship capacity, future artificial intelligence demand, and future businesses that might not yet exist at a commercial scale. This does not prove that the stock will necessarily collapse. When revenue compounds rapidly and competitive advantages deepen, high-quality companies can remain expensive for years. However, a high multiple shifts the burden of proof. Strong execution is no longer enough. SpaceX must deliver growth large enough to justify the expectations already reflected in its share price. SpaceX's current operations are measurable: Falcon launches, Starlink revenue, and existing contracts. However, part of the company's high valuation is based on projects that have not yet been fully realized, such as Starship, transportation to Mars, and new satellite services. In other words, investors are pricing not only what SpaceX is today, but also what it may accomplish in the future. This distinction lies at the center of the investment debate. The recent 31% decline reduced the price, but it did not automatically make the valuation conservative. At approximately $154 per share, the stock remained above its $135 IPO price. The decline removed part of the excitement from the IPO day, but not all of the assumptions about the future. Those who trust Elon Musk and SpaceX shares and want the stock to rise steadily should like this video right now so we can see how many of you there are. Level 4. The Starlink engine. SpaceX's connectivity segment, driven primarily by Starlink, generated $11,387 billion in revenue in 2025, an increase of approximately 50% from the previous year. The segment produced $4,223 billion in operating profit and $7,168 billion in segment-level adjusted EBITDA. In the first quarter of 2026, the connectivity segment added another $3,257 billion in revenue and $1,188 billion in operating profit. These are not promises. They are reported results. They show that Starlink has become the financial engine supporting the more speculative projects within SpaceX. Consumer subscriptions still accounted for more than 60% of connectivity revenue in 2025, while enterprise, aviation, maritime, government, and direct-to-device services offered additional paths for growth. The bullish thesis begins here. Each new satellite can strengthen coverage, capacity, and service quality across a network that already reaches multiple customer groups. Reusable launch capacity also allows SpaceX to deploy its own satellite constellation without paying an external launch provider, creating a vertical advantage that competitors may struggle to match. However, the same network must be continually expanded and renewed. Satellites age. Spectrum rights carry regulatory conditions. Competitors may put pressure on prices. Consumer growth may slow in mature markets. Starlink must therefore transform its technological leadership into sustainable cash flow, rather than relying only on increasing subscriber numbers. Starlink is the strongest evidence supporting the valuation. However, strength in a single segment does not eliminate execution risk across the entire company. Level 5. The capital furnace. Behind every satellite connection is a capital furnace. SpaceX reported total capital expenditure of $20.137 billion in 2025, compared with $11.235 billion in 2024. The connectivity segment absorbed $178 billion. The space segment absorbed $3,832 billion. And the newly acquired artificial intelligence segment absorbed $12,127 billion. Spending accelerated at the beginning of 2026. In the first 3 months alone, SpaceX recorded $1.052 billion in capital expenditure for space, $1,332 billion for connectivity, and $723 billion for artificial intelligence. The company also allocated $3,004 billion to Starship research and development throughout 2025, followed by another $930 million in the first quarter of 2026. This is where investors must separate ambition from economics. Starship could transform launch frequency, payload capacity, lunar missions, satellite deployment, and ultimately entirely new markets. Artificial intelligence infrastructure could create valuable computing services. However, SpaceX's ability to finance these initiatives does not guarantee the results. A massive cash balance gives management time, but it does not make capital free. Every billion directed toward an unproven project competes with share buybacks, debt reduction, network expansion, and shareholder returns. If future projects generate returns above the cost of capital, today's spending may appear visionary. If timelines slip or demand disappoints, the same spending will become a burden on margins. Level 6. New debt. June 22nd, SpaceX entered the bond market for the first time since its IPO. The company said the bonds would be used to repay existing debt under its bridge credit facility, cover related fees and expenses, and support general corporate purposes. An SEC filing showed that, as of April 30, 2026, the company had $20 billion in outstanding bridge loan debt. Reuters reported that the bond strategy replaced short-term financing with longer-term debt, while also preventing an immediate new share issuance. This could protect existing shareholders from near-term share dilution. Moody's assigned a Ba1 rating, while Fitch assigned a BBB+ rating. Both were investment-grade ratings, indicating that the agencies believed SpaceX had sufficient capacity to meet its obligations. The reassuring picture is a balance sheet holding more than $100 billion in resources following the IPO. The picture requiring caution is that the same company borrowed money only days after raising a historic amount of equity capital because its launch, satellite, and artificial intelligence plans require extraordinary financing. Debt is not automatically a warning sign. When used wisely, it can extend maturities and reduce financing risk. However, interest obligations create a fixed claim on future cash flows. If Starlink continues to grow and new projects mature, leverage may remain manageable. If capital expenditure rises while operating losses continue in other areas, financial flexibility may narrow. The new borrowing is proof of neither distress nor confidence. Its meaning depends on what the borrowed capital ultimately produces. Level 7. Short selling pressure. The stock fell from 225.64. Traders began establishing positions intended to profit from further declines. On June 24th, Ortex estimated that short interest increased in a single session from 8% to 13% of SpaceX's publicly available and tradable shares. Approximately 83 million shares were sold short, while average daily trading volume was around 270 million shares. This creates pressure in both directions. Rising short interest indicates that more traders view the valuation as fragile. The sale of borrowed shares can strengthen downward momentum when confidence is already weak. However, short interest is not a judgment on the business itself. Borrowing costs had fallen to approximately 1%, and around 39% of the available lendable shares were being used. This indicated that shares available for borrowing remained in the market. A positive announcement, stronger results, or renewed retail investor demand could force short sellers to buy back shares and accelerate an upward move through a short squeeze. The chart may therefore become more violent before it becomes more informative. A sudden rise could reflect forced position closures rather than an improvement in fundamentals. A new decline could reflect positioning and market fear more than deterioration at Starlink. Short sellers can increase volatility, but they cannot determine SpaceX's long-term value. Cash flows, capital discipline, and successful execution will determine that. The next risk does not come from investors borrowing shares. It comes from those who already own shares, and from what will happen when more supply reaches the market. This supply question will reveal whether the recent decline has created an opportunity for patient investors, or whether it has exposed how fragile scarcity becomes when locked-up shares begin moving freely. Level 8. Shares waiting behind the scenes. Public float created scarcity during SpaceX's first trading days, but that scarcity will not remain the same. SpaceX's official investor presentation disclosed a 366-day lockup period for Elon Musk. Meanwhile, selected investors, executives, board members, and other shareholders face gradual release schedules, beginning after future financial results announcements and continuing throughout the first 6 months following the IPO. 5% of the offering was also allocated to selected participants, whose shares were not subject to the standard lockup period. None of this proves that insiders will sell. The expiration of a lockup period only creates permission. However, even confident early-stage shareholders may diversify, pay taxes, or convert wealth that has been illiquid for years into cash. When additional shares enter a market built on limited supply, the price can fall without any deterioration in Starlink or launch performance. Index inclusion could create a force in the opposite direction. Funds tracking the Russell 1000 would be required to purchase SpaceX shares when the company enters the index. This demand could support liquidity, but forced buying is not the same as a permanent improvement in intrinsic value. Future supply and index demand could move the stock sharply while the company's rockets, satellites, and customers remain unchanged. Level 9. The portfolio concentration trap. The most dangerous decision involving SpaceX may not be choosing the wrong price. It may be choosing the wrong position size. An investor impressed by reusable rockets may invest a large portion of their portfolio in a single company. However, SpaceX combines launch risk, satellite regulations, geopolitical risk, artificial intelligence spending, executive control risk, and valuation risk within a single stock ticker. Diversity among the company's businesses does not represent portfolio diversification for the shareholder. A small position allows the long-term thesis to develop without permitting a single setback to control the investor's financial future. A concentrated position turns every Starship test, financial results announcement, capital increase, regulatory decision, and release of locked-up shares into a personal emergency. Level 10. The long-term possibility. The strongest bullish thesis is not that SpaceX will recover next week. It is that Starlink will compound its recurring connectivity revenue. Starship will reduce launch costs, direct-to-device service will expand, government demand will remain resilient, and orbital computing will eventually become commercial infrastructure. SpaceX has placed orbital artificial intelligence demonstration missions on its agenda for late 2027. This timeline is a company target, not realized revenue. The future economics of Starship, Mars operations, and large-scale orbital data centers must therefore remain in the forecast column, not the facts column. The facts are already remarkable. SpaceX has a profitable connectivity segment, reusable launch capacity, a global satellite network, major contracts, and more than $100 billion in announced cash following the IPO. The risks are equally visible: an extreme valuation, high capital expenditure, company losses, new debt, volatile trading, potential future share supply, and businesses whose expected value depends on milestones that have not yet been reached. So, is the decline from levels above 225 a major opportunity? The honest answer is conditional. It could become an opportunity if revenue and cash flow grow enough to catch up with the valuation while management transforms ambitious projects into profitable infrastructure. It could become the beginning of deeper losses if expectations decline faster than execution improves. A falling price does not automatically represent value. A revolutionary company is not automatically a safe investment. The investor who survives this story will not be the person who predicts every launch or every daily candle. It will be the person who separates verified results from forecasts, controls position size, and does not allow excitement to replace discipline. SpaceX may be building the future, but the wrong moves by company executives could disappoint investors. The real and hidden risk in this video is that investors are factoring the company's future projects into their calculations and buying shares too comfortably. However, investors who do not want their portfolios to deteriorate must always evaluate real data before taking action. Remember, the SpaceX IPO may truly be an opportunity, but its risks must also be evaluated. This video may help hundreds of investors make the right decision because this channel produces free, high-quality, and informative content for its subscribers. For more opportunity-focused and accurate informational content prepared with up-to-date information, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Thank you for watching.